Tara, thank you for joining me tonight. You speak regularly with people inside Iran. What are they telling you about how the public is reacting to the war right now?
Jaimee, thank you for having me. And indeed, at the heart of every conflict, as I've reported over the years, and now in Iran, are people, ordinary civilians. And we have to remember that multiple things can be true at the same time. On one hand, the majority of the Iranian public is extremely angry and resentful toward the Islamic regime, what they call a theocracy and a dictatorship that, as we saw in January, they very much wanted to move beyond. And that sentiment in Iran is wide and is evident. At the same time, the Iranians right now have another feeling, and that is more anger toward the policies of the West because they have no idea what those policies are. They have no idea what the method is and to what end. What is the objective here that the President of the United States and Israel want to reach? And I know we're going to talk about that. And add that, and to that, add the daily reality of life right now in Tehran. Last night, I mean, every night I try to connect with people despite awful internet and phone lines, Jaimee. And every day I'm hearing people say, last night was hell. Last night was the worst night. But this continues. And we know that last night, Tehran's oil depots were hit, and there are images coming in with plumes of fire all over the streets because little waterways that run through streets and boulevards were set on fire. Freeways that I've been, I've driven on, and neighborhoods that I've lived in, I see them up in blaze, and it's dangerous because at its core, you have ordinary civilians who are paying the price at the time that the economy in Iran is essentially in free fall. People have no purchasing power. And top that with the fact that there's some people, Jaimee, who have to go to work. Shopkeepers, taxi drivers, medics, doctors. Life is moving forward in the middle of fire and perpetual bombardment. And so the sentiment in Iran is that we're somehow caught between the lunacy of a repressive dictatorship and foreign aggression that is extremely unclear as to what it has in store for us.
And Tara, what would be the worst case scenarios for the people of Iran?
In some ways, Jaimee, we are seeing the worst case scenario unfold. Day by day, destruction intensifies and the death toll rises. Over 1,300 people have been killed in Iran. As of course, in the region, we have, I believe, around over 100 in Lebanon, 9 people in Israel, and of course, in the Gulf. The worst case scenario, though, for the Iranian people are multifold. One, that, of course, this death and destruction continues, and they are somehow introduced by dangerous opposition groups. And I think we should be very well aware of this. For instance, the MEK, the Mujahideen Khalq, is a militia, semi-militant group, a cult-like that fought against Iran and the Iranian people with Saddam during the Iran-Iraq War. And then the other worst case scenario would be the breakup of Iran, which again is another thing we have to pay close attention to, given that Donald Trump just last night, Saturday night, said when asked if Iran's map would look the same the day after the war, to which he said, no, I don't think so. So Iran's fracture and break up the territorial integrity of this country is of stark importance for the Iranian people, and that is right now at risk. And the third is whether or not the Iranian people are going to be left with the crumbles and remnants of the Islamic regime that has choked them for years, and they've been proven that after any conflict and any uprising and protest, they will introduce a harsher version of this regime. So I'm worried of an Islamic regime 2.0 that might be even more aggressive than what it was in the past. So a lot on the table, a lot at stake. But again, at the receiving end are ordinary Iranians who, Jaimee, are so similar in their hopes, dreams, aspirations with millions of others around the world. They did not want this war.